Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to episode number 31 of Post Finem with me, MOTDF. So, I had a little bit of technical difficulty. I had started a recording, and that recording got corrupted, but I had made some things that I'm going to show you guys real quick. So I had made an elite crushing factory, and well, we already had the pulverizer, but that's going to be pretty important for what we're going to do today. And I also made some of these basic item filters. So yeah, why don't we get into it? We got a couple things that I want to do today. First thing is I want to take a look at making a second igneous extruder. But for this igneous extruder, what I'm wanting to do is I'm wanting to make it a resonant igneous extruder, and then use some of these augments down here, specifically this pyroclastic generation augment, because what this will do is it'll allow us to make 32 stone per operation, which means it'll be 2 cycles to make a whole stack. And what I want to use this for is I'm wanting to make a Cobbleworks of sorts. So, you guys might not be familiar with what a Cobbleworks is. Essentially what that is a system by which we make everything from stone, cobblestone, gravel, sand, and just get mass quantities of it, because this is really important for a lot of building blocks. Sand's really important because, you know, we use it for glass, and, well, almost every machine that we make uses glass in some way, shape, or form. Cobblestone's really important, as well as stone, because we use that for all of these wonderful factory blocks. And gravel's pretty important too, because you can use that to make flint, but more importantly, it can be pulverized into sand, which, as I said, is for glass, but we can also pulverize that sand in order to make a bunch of silicon. And now we're going to need a lot of silicon, because I'm also wanting to get into the generation of some of the basic structure components for applied energistics. So if we go ahead into our quest book real quick and we look at the advanced tech tree, we have this quest here for digital storage. And what it wants us to do is it wants us to make a single charged Certus quartz and a single Fluix Certus, or Fluix crystal. These two are the prime components of the beginning of applied energistics. Now, as I had said before in the previous episode, we have this wonderful storage drawer system, and I absolutely love it, and I intend to continue using it. But what's really nice about the applied energistic system is it'll give us a mechanism by which we can search for everything in this. Also, it'll hold extra stuff that we don't have room for, although we still have a lot of spots left in order to fill up. So I think first thing first is I want to take a look at the generation of the Fluix and the charged Certus quartz, and then we'll take a look at doing the resonant igneous extruder and getting the Cobbleworks set up. So, as I normally do in between the last episode and this episode, I have tried to get all of the materials together in order to make the charged Certus quartz and the Fluix Certus quartz. And to make charged Certus quartz, what we need is the aluminum hypophosphite, which is 1 aluminum, 2 hydrogen. No, I'm sorry. It's going to actually be a total of 6 hydrogen, 3 phosphorus, and 6 oxygen. And we need 4 of them in order to make 1 charged Certus quartz. Now, I want to make a stack of charged Certus quartz. That way, I don't have to worry about making more anytime soon. And this recipe isn't particularly easy to do. So, I think I have everything together. Take a look at this real quick. Go into here. So we need the hypophosphite, which we make by putting 2 hydrogen, a phosphorus, and 2 oxygen together in the chemical synthesis machine. So, as you can see, I've stockpiled a whole bunch of phosphorus, a whole bunch of oxygen, and I have all of the hydrogen over here. So first things first, 2 hydrogen. Oh, come on. Phosphorus, and then the oxygen. 1 phosphorus, 2 oxygen. Now, you guys have seen this before a couple of times. It's not anything particularly difficult. It's just kind of grinding, putting all the things in the machine. The hardest part is actually getting all of the materials in the first place. Alright, now that we got all of our hypophosphate made, what we'll need to do is we'll need to take 3 of the hypophosphates and combine it with 1 aluminum. Not too difficult, right? It's pretty straightforward. You guys have seen this a couple of times now. But it's really important to get this set up. The sooner we get this set up, the sooner we can start doing some more auto crafting and some little bit more automation of sorts. So, I don't know if you guys can hear that or not, but it sounds like somebody is doing some construction on their house right now. Alright, there we go. That's our aluminum hypophosphate. So we'll take 4 of these, and we will put 1, 1, 1, and 1. Go ahead and throw our aluminum hypophosphates in, and then we get our charged Certus quartz. Ooh, this is apparently pretty expensive energy-wise. I hadn't considered that. Well, this will probably take a little bit. Alright, there we go. We have our 64 Certus quartz. Now you might be wondering, why did I make these 2 extra stacks of aluminum hypophosphite? Well, if we take a look at what Fluex crystals are made out of, they're actually made out of the same material, or at least partially. So, F-L-U-I-X, Fluex crystals. So it requires 2 things. Ooh, that's another one that's really expensive as far as RF is concerned. We have 2 things of aluminum hypophosphite. We also need a stack of gallium arsenide, and we need some aluminum phosphate. Aluminum phosphate's pretty straightforward. All it takes is some phosphate ions and some aluminum. So why don't we go ahead and make that first? We put the aluminum in. Well, actually, we need to do the phosphate first. 1, 2, 3, 4. There we go. There we go. We got a stack of phosphate. And then if we take the aluminum and we put a phosphate with it, we'll get the aluminum phosphate. So we can go ahead and toss that in there. And then, finally, we'll grab our gallium arsenide. So we have 2 aluminum hypophosphite, 1 aluminum phosphate, and 1 gallium arsenide. There we go. And this is going to take a little bit as well, because each time I take out, or each time I let the machine charge all the way back up, I can only make 3 crystals. So, yeah, it's definitely not the fastest process. I'm going to show you guys an alternative method of making these Fluix crystals as well in just a minute. It's just this is a lot faster. Alright, there we go. We get our Fluix crystals. So let's grab these out real quick. We'll take a look at our quest book. There we go. So this says we could synthesize some charged quartz and some normal quartz and throw them into a puddle with some redstone to get what is called Fluix. Alternatively, you can just synthesize Fluix and the quartz directly. So let me show you real quick. No matter what, we would have to craft the Certus quartz, right? But we can take this Certus quartz. We can take some regular quartz or some normal quartz or nether quartz, depending on the mod pack you're playing, and some redstone. And what we do is we put the normal quartz, the redstone, and the charged Fluix why? Oh, it's not crafting them together. I'm sorry, it's throwing in a puddle. So, throw them into the water. And bam. There we go. So, as you can see, 1 charged Certus quartz becomes 2 Fluix crystals. So, essentially what this will do, this will convert to another 2 stacks of Fluix crystals. And the Fluix crystals are really the things that we want more than anything else. They are the things that we need in order to do a lot of the crafting and material making that is in applied energistics. So now that we got that out of the way and started, I need to grab some food. Now that we got that out of the way and started, why don't we take a look at our quest book and actually claim this reward. So it'll give us some Fluix dust, and it will also give us either some diamonds, which is what we're going to take, some silicon, which we're going to make a factory that produces all the silicon that we could possibly need today. We don't use the AB9 anymore, and we don't use the half heart. So diamonds is what it is. And what can we do with this Fluix dust? We can make a Fluix pearl, which is used in a lot of the crafting recipes, matter condenser, energy cell. Actually, we'll probably need an energy cell at some point. These are the annihilation planes and the formation planes, which is something we'll be taking a look at in a later episode, because those are incredibly useful. Storage housing, fluid housing, the advanced storage drives. Okay. And we could actually use that to make Fluix seeds. So if we take a look here, there's the normal Fluix crystal, but there's also the pure Fluix crystal. What you can do is you can take 1 regular Fluix crystal, we can put it in a pulverizer or a grindstone, and that'll give us the Fluix dust. And then what we can do is we can put the Fluix dust with sand in a crafting window, and it'll give us 2 Fluix seeds, and it will grow to the point where it will become a pure Fluix crystal, which is also used in a lot of other crafting recipes for applied energistics, specifically the ME controller, which is the block that we're going to need more than anything else. Also the charger. The charger would be nice as well. So let me show you guys that real quick, because that takes like hours. Like, I'm talking hours game time. So or hours real time, not hours game time, I'm sorry. So we come over here, we grab the 15 sand that we need. We put the sand with the Fluix dust, we get the Fluix seeds. And then we can put these Fluix seeds, oh, come on. We can put these Fluix seeds in water, and what they'll do is they'll slowly grow over time. But like I said, this will take, I think it's something like 10 or 12 hours in real life of me being in the game for that to grow. It takes a long, long time, and this needs to produce energy faster. Oh, I almost forgot. So I had mentioned previously that the other clip that I had gotten corrupted, and you might have noticed that there is a dimensional transceiver set up here, and all of these energy cells are completely full. If we go down to our reactor, we can see that I actually have an energy buffer now. So what happened is that coolant port converts this from making energy into making steam to power the turbines. So I didn't need the coolant port until I actually was ready to set up the turbine system. And we're definitely going to do that at some point, because it makes so much more energy. So much more energy than our reactor here. But as you can see, this is kind of slowly ticking down as it's charging things up in the room above. And I can activate it, I can deactivate it, things like that. So if I activate this, right, you can see this goes up. It goes up pretty quick because we actually max out at about 10,000 RF per tick. And now we're completely full on the energy buffer. Now, I could take these reactor rods and put them in further so that it doesn't do as much energy production, and I could leave it on. But actually, at the lower energy, if I have those rods extended, our efficiency, the fuel reactivity, drops pretty substantially. It drops to about 330 from 450 when it's completely up and running. And all the energy that we have upstairs, all of it was produced from only 4 ingots of yellorium. And where is that zombie? They are very noisy. That must be from my mob spawn room downstairs. Oh, it shouldn't be from my mob spawn room. I don't know. We'll worry about Mr. Zombie later. Whoa, block in the face. Anyways. What I want to do is I want to take a look at making this Cobbleworks like I was talking about. So real quick, let's pull up our thermal expansion page again at thermal expansion. And the first thing that we need to do is we actually need to craft our igneous extruder that is resonant. So that requires a resonant machine frame, which I believe I have all the components for, but I could be mistaken. So a resonant machine frame requires a machine frame that's reinforced some silver ingots, and an Enderium gear. If you remember, we had a machine frame reinforced that we got as a reward a lot earlier in this mod pack. So why don't we go ahead and take that guy out, grab out our Enderium gear, and grab out our silver, and craft that guy up really quick. Really quick. Come on. Reinforced and resonant. There we go. We have our resonant frame. Now to craft the igneous extruder, we also need two copper gears, a piston, a pneumatic servo, and 2 pieces of glass. So igneous extruder. Bam. There we go. We have our resonant igneous extruder. Now, why I needed to make this resonant is because if we take a look in here and we look at this augment tab, right? The augment tab for a basic only has 3 spots for augments. If I put this guy down, you can see it has 6 spots for augments, which means we can do a whole lot more. Also, if we take a look at the pyroclastic generation augment, it says that you specifically need the resonant machine. So this being the highest level augment for the igneous extruder specifically, this is what we need. So first things first, we need to get the integrated servo mechanism and the integrated modular framework. That way we can completely customize this thing however which way we want. And those guys are really simple. We've done them before. You've seen me do them. For the servo, all it is a pneumatic servo surrounded by tin nuggets, and a pneumatic servo is just a couple pieces of iron, a redstone, and a couple pieces of glass. So we'll go ahead and craft this guy up real quick, and then the integrated modular framework is just an gold ingot surrounded by tin. Really easy. Really cheap too, actually, for that matter. So if we come back over here, we'll toss these in, and this will allow us to go into the configuration menu and change this however which way we want. And what we're going to want is we're going to want the output to come out this side, that side to be disabled, this side to be disabled, and this side to be disabled. So we'll go ahead and we'll toss the water in there. And actually we're probably going to need to craft up another reservoir, because we won't have the ability to keep this completely flush with water. Also, you can see that these tanks are massively bigger compared to the other ones. These ones hold 32 buckets. These hold 4. Yeah. There's a big difference there. We have 1 bucket of lava in here, and we have 1 bucket of lava, 2 buckets of water. And we can make cobblestone for free. I've already shown you guys that. What we need now is the reservoir. There we go. Now it's filling the water. So what we can do is we can actually switch this to stone now. I can take out this cobblestone, and because we have an infinite water source, it will just constantly fill this with water, and we don't lose any lava, so it'll now generate stone for us. Now the next thing we need to do is we need to specifically craft the augments for the igneous extruder, which is the accelerated extrusion, the igneous catalyst, and the pyroclastic generation augments. So these aren't particularly expensive. It's 2 cobblestone, a pneumatic servo, and 4 bronze ingots for the basic one. Then the next one requires 2 gold ingots, 2 bronze ingots, a pneumatic servo, and some regular stone. And finally, it is another pneumatic servo, 4 gold, and 2 obsidian. Now, I have everything in here, except I don't have stone, and I don't have stone, and I don't have obsidian. So I'm going to go ahead and grab some, or sorry, I have stone, I don't have cobblestone, and I don't have obsidian. So I'm going to go ahead and grab those guys real quick. 2 obsidian, 2 cobblestone. Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. Head over this way, and we'll go ahead and craft these real quick. There we go, we got the accelerated augment. We have the igneous extruder. And then we have the pyroclastic generator. Now, if we take a look at this, like, if you take a look down in the bottom section of the window in the description of the pyroclastic generator, you see that it requires the previous levels to be installed, which means if I were to put this in the machine, it wouldn't do anything unless I also had both of these in. So it's very important, if you make a resonant machine and you want to use the highest tier augment on it, you usually need all of the other augments for the same thing. So you need all 3. The next thing we need to do is we needed to craft up some of these oak drawers, which I went ahead and did off camera. I've already showed you guys the oak drawers before. It's, again, not something you guys really need to see or be concerned about. And what this will do is this will now automatically output from our igneous extruder into this oak drawer. We will have to craft some upgrades for it because this will fill up pretty quick. But I want to get this whole infrastructure set up first before I worry about doing the upgrades. So the next thing that we need to utilize is the elite crushing factory. But let's go ahead and put this guy down. And what we'll do is we will take an item conduit like that. We will set this side to extract, always active, and we will set this side to insert in a moment. So let's go in here. We want to turn auto sort on, so what that'll do is it will automatically fill each of these positions in a round robin style. So it'll go 1 1 1 1 1 1 1 2 2 2 2 2 2 2. As you it's a big time saver. So why don't I just show you guys real quick? Why aren't you working? Insert. Can I not extract from this? I thought I could extract from this. Always active. Why? Why don't you want to work? Is it because I have... Oh, no. That's not the right thing. Oh, I don't have the sides configured properly. So we want input there. There we go. So, see, as you can see, this will convert the stone into cobblestone. So what we'll do is we will Is this already done? Ah, it ran out of energy. Okay. I don't know that I place this in the best possible place. I don't actually have that much space. Give me a second, guys. I think I need to move some stuff around. I will be back in just a moment. Alright, ladies and gentlemen, so I've come to the conclusion that I need to make another crusher. specifically another crushing factory. And seeing how the previous crusher that I made, the footage of it was corrupted when I went to go put it into the editor, I figured it would be a great opportunity for us to do it together. So one of the things that we need is we need 2 buckets of lava. And let's actually get this out of our hotbar, because when things that are hot or cold are in our hotbar, it affects us far more greatly. So the crusher requires a mechanism, a steel casing, some basic control circuits, and some redstone. This isn't too bad. Not too bad at all. 1, 2, 3, 4. There we go. And then we need 2 basic control circuits. 1, 2. And then we need a steel casing, which requires another machine circuit, 4 electrical steel, and 4 steel ingots. So another one of those. And then 1, 2, 3, 4, and 1, 2, 3, 4. So let's go ahead and craft this guy up real quick. There we go. There's our steel casing. I don't think, yeah, we can't shift click the crusher in. So we'll go ahead and we'll place it in real quick. Like I said, it's not particularly difficult. It's the higher stages of the crusher that make it really a little bit more intense. So to go from the crusher to the crushing factory, we need pretty much exactly what we just had. 2 more basic control circuits, 4 redstone, and 2 iron. Not too bad. This is where it gets kind of crazy. 2 more advanced circuits, 2 osmium, 4 enriched alloy, and then finally 2 elite, 2 gold, and 4 reinforced. So when we head over here real quick, we will grab 2 iron, 1, 2, 3, 4 redstone. We're going to need 2 gold. Need 2 of this, 2 of this, 2 of this. Haha, I don't have another one of those. And how do I craft that? Well, that sucks. Let me craft this up real quick. Let me get all the components together for each of these stages, and I will bring you guys back in a moment. Alright, ladies and gentlemen, so I believe I have everything set to go in order to get the second elite crushing factory. So the first thing we need to do is we need to craft the basic crushing factory, which requires the crusher, those two, and then like that. There we go, we have the basic crushing factory. Then the advanced crushing factory is, I believe, like this. Yes? Okay, there we go. And the elite crushing factory is, oops, like this. Here we go. Elite crushing factory. Beautiful. So we'll put that there. So, I can't do in and out of that one. So how am I gonna do this? I'm gonna have to put this up here, right? But then I won't be able to reach that. Okay, we'll just put that over there for now. Alright, ladies and gentlemen, so I think I finally figured it all out. It did take a little bit, and it does not look very beautiful, but it's functional for now, and that's kind of more important to me than the aesthetics of it. So I'm going to walk you through this real quick. If we take a look here, we know that the igneous extruder is producing cobblestone, right? And the cobblestone is automatically exported to this dark oak drawer. This ender conduit, or item conduit rather, connects the drawer with the elite crushing factory number 1 and fills it with cobblestone. The gravel is taken out of here and simultaneously put into this elite crushing factory at the same time as this, because I don't need this to be anything but insert anymore. But I do need to switch this to round robin. So what that'll do is it'll be like, okay, I'll send one here, and then I'll check. Can I send one here? No. Okay, so I'll send one here. And then this guy here breaks the gravel down into sand, and this one here is again set to round robin, and the sand goes here, but also over here, where the sand is then pulverized into silicon. So we have now made 4 of the most useful things to us by using this contraption. I also had to move the dimensional transceiver up over here. That is now completely full. Beautiful. I got one more thing that I want to do before we wrap up the episode. Let's clear up our inventory real quick. Actually, I got two things, but one of them is really, really easy. One of them is really, really easy. First of all, I want to take a look at our Fluix quartz seeds. Yeah, these are 13% done. I have been playing for about 2.5 hours, and they're 13% done. Like I said, guys, these guys take a while to grow, but it does, on the plus side, double your income of Fluix. Plus, some of them are necessary for certain things that the Fluix crystals can't be used for. So, what I want to do with you guys before we leave is to make the upgrades that I had made in the other recording, the speed upgrades and the energy upgrades for mechanism machines. Each machine for mechanism can take 8 speed upgrades and 8 energy upgrades, and if you have all 8, then they have 10 times speed if they're the speed ones, and 10 times efficiency if you have the energy ones. So we definitely want both. The speed upgrade, the energy upgrade, I don't need the filter upgrade or the gas upgrade. Okay, so the speed upgrade is pretty straightforward. It's just some osmium dust, some glass, and some enriched alloy. And the energy upgrade is just some gold dust, again some glass, and some enriched alloy. So we need 8, 16, we need about 40 of the advanced alloys. Okie dokie, guys. I think we have all the materials that we need in order to craft the 8 speed upgrades and the 8 energy upgrades for our elite crushing factory. So let's do the speed ones first. There we go. And we'll grab the energy ones. There we go. Now, in order to install the upgrades, you need to go to the Upgrade tab, which is this arrow on the right-hand side. And then what you do is you just put the upgrades in this slot, and it downloads them into the machine. So if we take a look at this, 2 upgrades gives... this is the efficiency. So 5 is 4.22, 6 is 5.62, 7 is 7.5, and 8 is 10. So it's 10 times as efficient. Then we'll go ahead and throw the speed ones in, and I think it scales on the same level, 1.33, 1.78, 2.37, all the way up to 10 times as fast. Yep, 10 times as fast. Okay. So now you guys can see this goes a lot faster, which means this will fill up a lot faster and be able to keep up with this more. I would eventually like to get this pulverizer to have the speed augment upgrade as well, but that'll be something that maybe we look at in a future episode, because if we do that, we will have to increase the pulverizer's, whatchamacallit, I guess it's level from basic all the way up to Resident, just like we did the Resident guy on this one. But I believe that's everything for today, guys. We got a lot of stuff done. It might not seem like it, but I gotta tell you that this took me a little while. I'm not really super familiar with Mechanism, although I gotta say, I love these factories. They go so fast. And I'm definitely pretty excited about this. This is something I've been wanting to do for a little bit, because this will give us pretty much everything we could possibly want as far as blocks is concerned. Also, like, I can grab out this sand and I can come over here and I can just be like, hey, I want to break down sand, and then I get a whole bunch of the the silicon dioxide, which I seem to always run really low on, especially seeing how I use it in the normal quartz and stuff like that. But yeah, I do hope you guys like the episode today. I do apologize at how late the episode is coming out. I essentially had to make 2 episodes in one day, seeing how the first episode I made was corrupted. But yeah, I think next episode, which will be on Wednesday, we're going to go ahead and take a break from all of the technical stuff, all of the crafting, all of the building. I want to do a little bit of exploring. I definitely want to hit up the 2 missile bases that I found. I don't remember. There's one. And there's the other. Okay. So, yeah, I want to go to these 2 places. I want to take a look. I want to see what we can find. I want to see if the loot is different. I want to see if the materials underground are different. I just kind of want to check it out. But I hope you guys enjoyed today's episode. If you did, please feel free to like and subscribe. If you didn't, please feel free to leave a comment. I really appreciate any feedback that you guys give me, good, bad, otherwise. It really helps out my channel. It also helps me grow as a content creator. And I hope to see you guys in the next episode. And until then, I hope you all have a wonderful and fantastic day. Bye-bye.